Hello and welcome. Today we're taking a look into the Comic Con Stockholm event that takes place every year. It's a convention when it comes to gaming, when it comes to comics, and of course cosplay. This year they actually had a competition, also a cosplay competition, so there was a lot of guys and girls that have done their best to show off their skills when it comes to costumes of their favorite characters. I also had the pleasure to sit at a seminar, listen to Henrik Larsson, which is a producer at Tarsier Studios, and we talked a bit about an upcoming game called Little Nightmares. Let's listen into it. So I'm sitting here together with Henrik Larsson, who is the producer at Tarsier Studios. Hello, Henrik.
Hello, it's nice to be here.
And nice to be here as well. I was listening to the seminar by you guys, and I think it was really interesting. We talked a lot about, your upcoming game, Little Nightmares, and we are going into that pretty soon. But first of all, as a producer at Tarsier Studios, what are you doing? What is your job exactly?
So my job is mostly to make sure that everyone else does their job. So basically, I'm sort of project manager for the game project Little Nightmares. So everyone needs to have the right information and know what they're supposed to be doing, and also the customer, in this case Bandai Namco, the publisher, needs to be involved with what's going on with the game and have their feedback heard.
Sounds great. And if I got it right, you're a bit of a smaller studio. How many guys are working at Tarsier Studios?
Between 40 and 50. We go up and down based on the project needs. But yeah, around that number.
Beautiful. You have a solid background with your studio. Could you mention some of the titles you have been working on before?
Right. So one of the first title that Tarsier actually launched that was a proper console game was Ragdoll Kung Fu, Fists of Plastic, like party fighting game similar to Super Smash Brothers, but with like plastic toy characters instead. So a fun brawler. Then we worked on a lot of the Little Big Planet games. We started doing DLC for them, but then we ended up making one of the titles by ourselves, or not by ourselves, but being the lead studio for that title. Yeah. And then we've also worked on Tearaway Unfolded, the PS4 version of the Tearaway game, together with Media Molecule. Now we're working on the Little Nightmares and also a VR game that from our studio called Static.
That's also interesting. Again, we're coming to Little Nightmares. VR is something that has, it's growing big. It's growing big, and I've been playing a lot of HTC Vive and starting to enjoy it a lot. Is this something you are, planning for the future to do more VR games?
We don't know. No one knows what's going to happen with VR. We felt like we have some pretty cool ideas of what we think could be done with VR, so we want to try them out. We're open to making more VR content, but it's not like, we're going to be a VR company. Yeah. But, the way people are reacting to this one we've made so far, or we're making right now, might be that we make more.
Sounds interesting. But again, Little Nightmares, very interesting title, I think. I'm looking forward to it myself. What is the sort of story behind the game? How did you come up with this idea?
I don't honestly know all about it. I wasn't there for that part. I'm jumping in on as a producer to make sure that everything follows the plan. Yeah. I think a lot of the inspiration comes from basically what's inside Tarsier's blood. Tarsier started out making a prototype called The City of Metronome, and that game has a special kind of atmosphere. You're a kid in this weird city, and everything is just wrong. Feels kind of malicious, and that's the same feeling you have in this game. So I think it kind of started from that game 10 years ago, and then we were making a couple of new prototypes a couple of years ago, and this one kind of came out from it.
That's beautiful. It's a kind of continuation from something that started way back. And if I got it right, listen to the seminar, you actually had another title for the game initially. Tell me about it.
Right, so the project name was Hunger. That was our initial project name for it. And that was kind of the theme of the game at the time. It was the grotesqueness of like the hunger state of the world, like the rich people are being overfed and obese while other people are of course starving. So you have this kind of skinny little girl in this world filled with ugly people doing nasty things, basically. And that it has a stark contrast to it, which is something that we kind of wanted to have in this game. We had to change the name though, because it's not a hunger is not a very searchable name. It's hard to find it. I mean, just an English word. And also, if you're gonna market it as like the Hunger the game or something, you're gonna compete with the Hunger Games, of course, which is it's a hard way to get noticed.
Yeah.
So we changed the name.
I think you did a good choice. I like the title also. It's very immersive and also exciting. You know, you want to know what's going to happen in the game. And regarding the game, the story is around a small girl, right? Can you tell me something about the main character?
So her name is, as we know it, is Six. She hasn't told us it, but that's what we think her name is. Yeah, she's a little girl in this horrible, weird place, and she does not belong there. She just wants to get out. This is not a comfortable place for a little girl in a yellow raincoat to be. So the player has to guide her out of there, basically. And yeah, that's all we know about her so far.
Right. And talking about the player and the gamer's experience, what you want to achieve with the game when it comes to the, sitting playing the game?
We want people to be kind of reminded of their own childhood in a sense. I mean, the game is based on childhood fears, like being abandoned, being just pulled up by someone pinching your cheeks. Like you don't have any control over those kind of things when you're a kid. So as a kid, you're very vulnerable, and that's what we want in the game as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that it would probably awaken a lot of emotions from people, since we all have our experiences in life and from our childhood and things like that. And I mean, you're working intensively right now, I can imagine. When are you planning to release the game?
The game is planned to be released at spring 2017.
Okay, and the platforms?
It will be available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC digital download.
Sounds great. Well, I wish you the best of luck with the game. Really looking forward to it. And thanks a lot, Henrik.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks. Big thanks to Henrik Larsson, producer at Tarsier Studios, and Namco Bandai for the interview. It was really nice, and we're looking forward to this game. I have it on my to-check-out list when the spring comes. There's a lot of games to play during the fall of 2016, so it's therefore good to know that we have another good title to look forward to when the spring comes of 2017, and I'm thinking about Little Nightmares. As you can see, we had a lot to do. We were checking out things all around the place, and it was all about comics, some old comics I wanted to buy. When it comes to retro gaming, I found some cool consoles from the past, waking some sweet memories. You had these special effects kind of things, and of course people were also into tech and stuff when it comes to new gadgets and gears, and of course you see droids from Star Wars. All in all, a good weekend. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to give a thumb up and also subscribe, and see you soon again. Take care. Bye bye.